There's going to be two parts to this video. First off is a mobile app that I'm going to introduce to you, and then secondly, a Google Sheets template that I personally have set up for myself. That is how I have been tracking my finances since 2 to 3 years ago. It has evolved over the years and this is what suits me. However, when sharing with you this mobile app and also the Google Sheets, you can choose either or. I just prefer using both together and you will see my reason why as well. The app that I would like to introduce to you guys is actually Wallet by Budgetbakers. If you have heard or watched my previous videos, I actually love tracking on the Wallet by Budgetbakers app. It is an app that I use on a day-to-day basis to track my personal finances on my mobile phone. It is more convenient this way because I don't have to open up my laptop to key in my transactions, but having a mobile app actually allows me to key in whatever that I've spent on the go. If you see on my mobile phone, I'll put the screen recording over here, is that whenever I go to a store and I have any transactions that has been made on any of the accounts that I have been tracking, I can easily key it on my mobile phone, and at the end of the month, I will go to Google Sheets and tally everything else. Wallet by Budgetbakers, I'll just share with you how you can actually set up from scratch as well. Once you create a Wallet by Budgetbakers account, your dashboard will be empty. However, when you look at mine, it is actually pretty filled with all the accounts that I have already registered for. So what you want to do is to go to settings. You would first have to set up the accounts that you would have, and depending on what you want to track, you key it in here. Add a new account. They give you 3 options. You can either bank sync, import, or use the manual input option. I personally chose the manual input options instead of bank sync because of security reasons. I do not like having to give a third party access to my bank account records, so instead I do it manually. This is just my own personal preference, so it's up to you whether do you want to use it this way or you want to sync with your bank. That's entirely up to you. Every single account that I own, I key in here, be it a debit card, a credit card, savings account, or investments account, I also key it in here. Subsequently, after creating all the accounts that you would have, go to the category section, and this portion here is where you would customize everything to your own needs. Food and drinks, I have categorized it according to whether am I having it with friends, whether is it alone, or whether is it for work or family, that kind of thing. So you get the gist, go through the category section and set it up on your own. It's pretty customizable. Any category that is extra here that you don't want, you can actually hide, and if you want to create subcategories, you can as well. They have given you a lot of flexibility for Wallet by Budgetbakers app, and I definitely love this about them. So currencies, if you do have any other currencies that you hold, you can actually add it in here as well, which is what I've done with the Korean won that I have had during my trip. With my investments recorded on Wallet by Budgetbakers, some of it is in USD, which is why I key in some of the currency exchange rate over here as well. Templates are something that you can also create in terms of the transactions that you record. So go ahead and meddle with this. I did not create any templates after having used this app for a few years now. Labels, I do use labels for my transactions as well. When you add a record, you can actually see category of the transactions that you have already set up, and then there's also the labels options. If you want to label a transaction, this is how I do it for work claims. Anytime I spend for work, I would label that transaction for work claims, and when it comes in, I recognize it as a transfer instead of an income so that I do not double count as well. Someone had previously asked me how do I recognize credit card transactions if let's say you pay in a group and then someone else pays you back. I use the transfer function that Wallet by Budgetbakers has. So what you want to do is to actually recognize the transaction as an expense, how much you have incurred for yourself, your own portion, instead of what your friends are supposed to pay you. And then use the transfer function so that it does not count under your income and expenses report. If we count the entire expense as an expense, you actually did not spend that much. Some of it is actually your friends, which is why I would use the transfer function instead, because it doesn't count under the income and the expense analytics part. I hope that is helpful. If you have any questions, do let me know in the comments as well. With Wallet by Budgetbakers, it's a lot of things that you can analyze and track as well. Go into the overview section and you will be able to see different widgets that you can add so that you'll be able to see the analysis. There's one thing called the balance trend where it will track all of the accounts that you will have and show you how much money that you have currently minus all of the credit card transactions that you have already made. So this is really useful. You can see exactly how much net worth, I would say, monthly expenses as well, and also the cash flow. So your income minus expenses would be the cash flow that you still have within the time period that you have selected. This toggle here actually shows you that you can actually choose between a date range or number of weeks. If not, month, and also yearly. What I really love about the Wallet by Budgetbakers app is actually the analytical portion that it actually gives you. Whatever transactions that you have keyed in on this Wallet by Budgetbakers app, you can go into the analytics portion and see your income and expenses report as well. In addition to the income and expenses report, you can actually see things like balance, cash flow, cumulative cash flow, so on and so forth. You can see the drop down over here that I will show you as well. Depending on how you want to see it, you can see it in chart, line chart, bar chart, or pie chart. Wallet by Budgetbakers is an app that is really comprehensive and a lot of things you can actually use this to analyze. That is why I mentioned that you do not actually have to have a Google Sheets in addition to tracking on the Wallet by Budgetbakers app. As a person who has just started tracking your finances, if you think this app is sufficient for you, then just stick to this app. But let's go into this second option, which is to track it on Google Sheets. Let's go to my Google Sheets and how I track it, and hopefully it'll be helpful for you. This spreadsheet that I have made is pretty similar to what I've used in my Money Diary series in 2022, where I share with you whatever income that I've received, expenses, bills, etc. If you have not watched that video, go and check it out, link up above and down below. This spreadsheet right now, if you see over here, it's a little bit of a spoofed up version compared to that. On the annual overview page, you will be able to see total income, fixed expenses, variable expenses, savings, interest, dividends, investments, and cashback. If you watch all of my videos, I'm a cashback pro person and I do not like chasing after the mouse game, so I track cashback over here, but you can change it accordingly if you want to as well. On this annual overview dashboard, you will not have to key in any of the details, but once you key in every single month, it will auto-populate. This annual overview dashboard is just for your eyes to look at and analyze accordingly. The new thing about this spreadsheet is this tab called the annual breakdown. With the dashboard, you'll be able to see everything on a monthly basis. However, you cannot go into the specific details such as per category. What have you received? Take for example, in this spreadsheet over here, right now you see the income table. You'll be able to see under the income spreadsheet what are the various income sources that you have received throughout the year. So once you key in the different various sources of income that you receive in the monthly tab, you will be able to see them here. With this breakdown, you will be able to analyze your finances further. In addition to that, you will be able to see where have your savings gone to in terms of emergency funds, investment fund, whether is it a goal to travel overseas. You're saving up for that, you can also include it here. Fixed expenses, I have keyed in all the various fixed expenses that I'll be incurring every single month here as well. In terms of variable expenses, it is also here. This table here relates to every single month's individual daily expense tracker over here as well. When you go to the monthly tab, you'll be able to key in whatever that you have spent on a day-to-day basis over here and choose the category of which the spending belongs to and the accounts as well. So with the accounts, what I did was to actually track the credit cards that I have been using in order to check for the minimum monthly spending. If you watch my credit card guides, you would know UOB Evil has a minimum monthly spending of $600, and I use this to track how much do I have left in that category to spend for that month so that I can hit the minimum spending and get the maximum cashback out of that card. So this is how I use this spreadsheet, and it will auto-populate the breakdown sheet together with the annual dashboard sheet. So yeah, this spreadsheet is actually made available in two colors. One in the original, a bit like an orange color, and this is a little more of a neutral tone colored. As I mentioned, it is available at a price of $10, not because I want to earn money from you guys, but I only want you to get it because you are serious. I don't want this spreadsheet to be misused because it is somewhat like a baby to me. I have created this, spent extra hours creating this, and yeah, I really love how it turned out to be as well. So for those of you who have actually bought the first spreadsheet in 2022, this is available for you guys. You can download it via the link available. So on Buy Me a Coffee, this is just for $10. It is a price of a meal. So if you're serious about tracking your finances for 2023, then go ahead and get this spreadsheet. If you have any questions about this spreadsheet, you can always DM me on Instagram. If not, write to me, email me, and I will gladly respond to whatever questions that you would have. This is the spreadsheet that I've created, and I'm excited to use this for 2023. I will be continuing my Money Diary series as well. I know that video has helped a few other people, and if it just helped one other person, it'll be worth it as well. I will be going into that in 2023, so if you have not subscribed, subscribe to the channel as well.